What is going on, everybody? What is going on? It is 10:34. It is April 7th, 2025. Wanted to tap in with everyone. We got some feedback on social media that there was some discrepancies as to some of the things that's going on in the city of Oakland right now, and we kind of wanted to give some clarity to that here. So there's a post on Reddit actually from the city of Oakland, um, talking about how, the city has been ramping up closures of different encampments, and a lot of people are loving what they are seeing. But a lot of people don't understand the scale of this and the nature in which the city of Oakland is going about doing these massive displacements. Um, some of you all think that people are getting help, resources, and services, and we have to keep one thing in mind. There's over 6,700 people homeless in Oakland at any given time right now. That number is consistently increasing. So for every person that actually does have services rendered to them, there are people that are still ending up on the streets. And for all the services that are so-called quote unquote available, there are a lot that are not available in the city of Oakland right now. There's definitely not enough services to meet the demand for even half of the individuals that are homeless in Oakland right now. So I want you all to keep that in mind. We're going to look at a list here. As you can see, I'm on the oaklandca.gov/resources/homeless encampment cleanup schedule. Now, this is something that, as an organization, Urban Compassion Project regularly looks at so we can determine what locations we either need to provide advocacy to or help cleaning up, right? In any sense, we always try to provide services and linkage to services for individuals that are currently living homeless in Oakland, amongst everything else that we do. But responding to this message, right? So on Reddit, the message is Lakeshore pedestrian bike path is finally getting cleared after 2+ years of total blockage. This was a great bike path to get to Jack London before it got fully blocked. Understandable that people want to utilize this bike path on the lake. I know a few individuals that were living there, but if you go into the comments, right, a lot of these comments are, damn, it took long enough. Kind of incredible to see them bring an entire garbage truck. I wish they would do East 12th. Another comment, finally I've gone around Kaiser Center a number of times to get to Jack London Square on my bike. East Side bike path still under construction. But there are so many comments in here about how grateful people are that the city of Oakland is finally making some progress and doing away with the encampments and the trash surrounding the encampments. And then there was a post on Instagram earlier, which was quite interesting to me, about an initiative that happened on, I'm trying to see if I can find the message. Here it is. That happened at Lafayette Square Park in Oakland. So in February, I think it was the third week of February, around the 16th or 17th, we initiated cleanup efforts at Lafayette Square Park in Oakland. This is in District 3. And what the city of Oakland did was today they posted about a closure that they conducted on February 26, 2025. So we're talking, weeks later, we're posting an update with, essentially one picture, a before and an after of them removing an individual that was living in a tent. Let me be the first to say that Urban Compassion Project started off as Urban Park Cleanup, so we're champions for keeping our common spaces clear and free and safe for all to be able to utilize. But there seems to be a disconnect, right? Mind you, as I said before, Lafayette Square Park, we actually conducted the cleanup there and we removed a like all of the trash. All of the trash that was there. There were some structures that were there that people weren't living in anymore. Those were removed, and we worked with our homeless neighbors to actually conduct those efforts and get them done. Why are you making this video, Vincent? What is this all about? Why should I continue to watch this? Well, this is why. Here in the city website, you have this tab, which is the policy. It has the encampment management policy in it. It has been this is not the original encampment management policy as it was in 2020 before they put a budget behind it. It has been, stuff has been taken out, stuff has been put in. It is not the real encampment management policy. Everyone needs to know that, right? Just highlighting that. We're not going to look at that, right? Actually, no, we're not going to look at that right now. We'll make another video for later. We'll come back and look at that. But what we're actually going to look at right now is the homeless encampment cleanup schedule. Now, you look at that title and you think to yourself, oh, this is where they go and they clean these encampments. Nah, let's take a look. Let us just take a look here. Show you all what we have. It's quite interesting, right? But I feel like people need to know, people deserve to be informed. So what we have here are all of the initiatives for the month of April. So what the city of Oakland does is they will post all of the initiatives that they are conducting around encampment management during that month. It will have dates and days on it as to what they're going to do. So you see here, like this line here is, let me see if I can actually get a highlighter here. So this line here, right, just taking into example, right, this is closure, right? So what we're seeing here is upcoming operations, closures. These are all closures. Everything that we see is a closure. This has nothing to do with cleaning up debris. This has nothing to do, and I want people to understand, right? Let's look at this list. This list is extremely long, right? Multiple things happening every single day. First and foremost, I want to point out to the community that if Oakland Public Works is out doing all of these closures, and these are all encampments, right? What else is Oakland Public Works doing that they're actually supposed to be tasked with? Where are they responding to? How are they helping our community, right? And then if we take into consideration the encampment management policy, which is actually built around servicing individuals that are homeless on the streets of Oakland, I want everybody to take a moment and pause. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. A bunch of closures. I only counted 28. This is more than 50. It's like 50 or 60 closures in the month of April alone. Actually, this is not even throughout the month of April. This is just to April 18th. So you take into account, like, this isn't a cleanup effort by the city of Oakland on any level. This is not, oh, we're going to go and we're going to clean this, right? We need the community to understand that while you're grateful that certain areas seem to be getting shut down as encampments, you also got to understand that people have to go somewhere if there are no resources and services. Rarely do we see the city of Oakland and their EMP team or their EMT team going out, right? HSD, other nonprofits, right, that are getting tons of money from the city of Oakland. Rarely do we see them actually housing and resourcing individuals other than giving them bags, taking everything it is that they own and shifting them from one area to another. We have Peralta Park here, right? Let me see. So just to give you an example, for some of the places that we know and we've worked with individuals in, right, regularly, right? So let's look at this. So here you have Lake Merritt, all parks, city waterways. This is supposed to be done April April 8th, right? Which is Tuesday. That's supposed to be tomorrow. So tomorrow, what Public Works is saying, we're going to go out to Lake Merritt. We're going to focus on all parks, city assets, and walkways, and we're going to clear them. What they essentially did today is they went to that walk path, right? And they cleared that walk path. And then they posted on social media that they cleared it, but they did not post how many people they serviced and resourced. We're never going to see the city of Oakland ever claim again that they helped 3 of the 7 individuals that were living on that walk path. Instead, what's going to happen is they're going to move from that walk path, maybe go up the street a little bit, up onto the hill, right, on the other side of the lake, somewhere else on the lake, and they're going to set up. Right? It's a waste of money, a waste of resources, a waste of the taxpayers' dollars, and definitely lies and deceit that's being essentially peddled by the city of Oakland to have individuals believe that there's progress being made and not only getting rid of the issue with trash, but also like the issue of homelessness in Oakland. Now, I'm a champion for getting rid of the debris. This walk path that they cleared by Lake Merritt on the bike path, yes, there was a lot of debris there. Some of that debris makes its way into the water, right? But to say, let's clear these people out, there's another path on the other side of that you can look at. People are living there. They didn't show pictures of that. They didn't show pictures of people that are living on that side, right? They didn't show us that. We're not going to see that some of those same individuals that were cleared out from one side of the walk path probably just went around and took their stuff to the other side. It's very important to us that we point this out because you all are so excited that what's happening right now is it seems so promising. It just seems extremely promising. We're like, oh my goodness, right? The city of Oakland is making progress. No, there's no progress being made. And the reason for this video is to point out the fact that listen, last week I pulled up, we check these schedules weekly, right? And there was an issue where there was a site that we've been working on East 12th between 15th and 19th in Oakland that is just trash. It is prime territory for illegal dumping. It is so attracting for illegal dumping. And this is one of the sites that years ago the city of Oakland actually slated for individuals to live. They said there's this location where you can go. You can live there. We will service you. We will get you porta potties. We'll get you showers. We'll get you food. We'll have navigation come out and help you with housing, mental health, linkage to, all these different services. They gave the okay for individuals that were living homeless in Oakland to go and live at this site. Now it's years later, none of the leadership that was in office at that time is actually there anymore, and the city of Oakland realizes this is an issue they caused for themselves and they want to close it. But they didn't want to go out and clean up the trash. They didn't want to... Vincent, they don't have a schedule for cleaning up trash. Yes, they do. Bear with me. This is just the cleanup schedule that we're seeing here. If we scroll down, though, we see the cleanup schedule. Notice how the cleanup schedule is far smaller than the closure schedule. So the closure goes all the way, like I said, April 18th, right? And then we get an opportunity to look at what their cleaning schedule looks like. Now, these cleanings are supposed to take place on Tuesdays and Thursdays. These efforts are supposed to be to go into encampments or other areas in Oakland where there's a lot of debris and clean that debris up. That's supposed to be the task on these days. If we look at this in relation to the closure portion of this document that the city of Oakland publishes weekly, we'll notice that a lot of these dates fall on the same dates as closures. And what ends up happening with the city of Oakland is they report back to the community that, hey, listen, we're doing all of this great work. We're closing these encampments. We're cleaning up all this trash. But there is no way, with the limited resources that the city of Oakland already has, having gotten rid of so many Oakland Public Works positions, city of Oakland is down a bunch of positions in different departments, that they have the resources necessary to actually follow through with all of it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that we're being fooled. Essentially, what the city of Oakland is saying is like, hey, look at this Yoda right here. Isn't that Yoda cute? Yeah, don't look over here. We're supposed to be working on this over here, right? But like, look at this Yoda. And now you're looking at this Yoda and you're like, oh, that's a cute Yoda. It's plushy. It's so cute. Oh my goodness. And then by the time you turn around, you realize like, oh damn, like there's all of this other wreckage that's going on over here. Here's the thing, right? East 12th, right? So this is supposed to be a cleaning. 19th and East 12th is one of those locations where regularly, every week, they are supposed to be going and not piecemealing the trash that's there. They're supposed to be taking all of it to do away with. The issue with the city of Oakland is that they're so focused on trying to make things look cute and push people into in different areas, right? They're using, social media now as kind of like a clickbait type of thing. Well, they'll post on there like, hey, look what we did, right? Look at these before and afters that we did. Oh my goodness, it's so great. Look what we did. At the end of the day, nothing's really being done. Those individuals are, the dude that lived in that encampment that I just showed at Lafayette Square Park is there right now as we speak. He was back the next day. Why? He didn't get no services, right? And then the trash that they're supposed to be cleaning up never gets picked up. Never gets picked up. If you go to East 12th and 19th Avenue in Oakland, but you go down towards 17th Avenue on East 12th, you'll notice that half the block in one of the traffic lanes is covered in debris. Illegal dumping, just covered, a mountain of it. And it's been building up for almost a year now, and the city of Oakland will come and they did one cleanup effort in the last 2 weeks on 19th and East 12th and didn't even pick up the whole pile, which they were supposed to do. And if you ask me, I think that the city of Oakland keeps doing that because it guarantees them more contract money from the state to say, this is why we need it. There's too much trash. We can't do it all. But once again, let's remember. All right, let's try to remember. The reason why they can't do it is because they have all these closures. All these closures. You mean to tell me that you all have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 closures of encampments in the same day in the city of Oakland? If we look at Tuesday here, right? So we look at Tuesday the 8th, right? These are all the ones for Tuesday the 8th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 closures tomorrow. Here's the thing. When these closures start, they're slated for at least 3 days. The city of Oakland always posts closure dates as 3-day operations. So if you look here, you'll see that 5th between East 10th and Embarcadero was for the 7th, right? here we go again. Tomorrow, again, for East 12th, or for 5th between Embarcadero. And then on Wednesday for 5th between Embarcadero, they have it slated again. Mind you, these don't take 3 days to close. Usually they get this done within a day. But if we're taking into account, right, the sheer amount of closures that are happening, right, in relation to how many cleanings they're doing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Keep that number in mind, and let's check out the cleaning schedule. So that was about 15, right? Once again, Tuesdays and Thursdays. This schedule says Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm not making this up. This isn't something I can make up. This is on the city's website is what they're going to do. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 15. So if you're telling me that you have 15 closures that you're going to do in one day, and you have all of these locations for pile removal, but you guys have 15 locations. The city of Oakland doesn't have 15 debris removal trucks or teams to go out and block streets. When they do a closure in the city of Oakland, what they have to do is they have to have traffic control. They have to have civilian technicians. They have to block off streets, roads, right? So people can't get in. There are multiple trucks and multiple agencies that are involved in doing this. They have to send out the EMT, and also that's the encampment management team that goes out and conducts outreach, and then they send out, a nonprofit like Operation Dignity, give out bag lunches, and they give out, plastic bags so people can, try to hurry up and pack whatever in within a short period of time before they get kicked out and move on to another location to set up another encampment, right? It's not working. Is essentially like what we're here to point out with this whole thing. It absolutely, and I'm not here to down anybody that's on social media. Everybody's opinions matter, but like if you can't see clearly that something is off just by looking at these schedules, something may be off with you. And that's not to be offensive, it's just the truth. Once again, they have us looking over here when what's really damning for the city of Oakland is happening over here. We're happy seeing these closures happen until, like cattle, people are shifted from one place to another. They don't get no resources. I was working with somebody in the Jack London district, right, the last couple of weeks, and I was out there doing outreach in the middle of the night, and people are literally setting up their tents in front of businesses that have been removed from some of these encampments because they have nowhere else to go. They're just being shifted around. Hey, what happened during that closure? They told me to leave. Did they offer you services? No, they gave me a bag of lunch and a bag. Well, what is it you need? Right? Or they end up in another neighborhood and neighbors take to Reddit or Nextdoor or Instagram or whatever platform it is they're using, right? And we complain about it, but we have to hold our elected officials accountable. The city of Oakland needs to be held accountable because they are wasting our money. Wasting our money. Ask the city of Oakland to publish a document proving how many people they've housed since January 1st. And we'll get crickets. But you ask the city of Oakland to publish a list of how many encampments they've closed, they'll publish that list. But if you go back through this list, so if we take into account, right, these are closures, all right? So, these are all closures, all right? These are all April 7th. So, here's what I want people to take into account when you see this highlighted right here. These are all of the initiatives that are happening between April 7th, which is Monday, right? So there are 3 days, 7th, 8th, and 9th. All of these will be consecutive, the same location. So what I highlighted here will be the same thing we see from here to here, right? Right, and then back down to the 9th. If we wait about 3 or 4 days, and in a lot of instances, not even 3 or 4 days, what we'll notice is that a lot of these individuals will come right back. Will come right back. I saw some comments on Reddit that somebody was like, oh, they're going to put up a fence, right? That sounds great. But at the end of the day, how many of our public spaces is the city going to fence off? They did it with the Veterans Memorial Building, right? They did it with Fitzgerald Park. Over a year ago, they fenced off Fitzgerald Park. This is a park for the community. Over a year ago, they did this. That park is still fenced in. The fence is still up there if you go by Fitzgerald Park in West Oakland. It's literally still fenced off. Are we really happy that the solution that the city of Oakland has is displacing people at an alarming rate, not actually servicing people? Where's all this money going that's supposed to be getting people housing and services? Where's all the money at? Why is it that we're paying public works all of this money, the taxpayer, right, for services not rendered? But more so, why is it that we take to platforms like social media to complain about stuff, but we really don't take no action? We really don't look at the numbers under a microscope or even the information that's provided to us. The city of Oakland will tell you exactly what it is they're not doing if you do your research. It's not hard. And the reason why I had to come here and I had to make this video is because, like, for me, what ends up happening and for Urban Compassion Project is what we get left with is picking up the wreckage from what the city does. We haven't even gotten into talking about Caltrans or what Caltrans does. That's a video for another time, right? But the community in general is just inundated with the amount of wreckage that the city of Oakland is leaving in their wake. And as constituents, as voters, as regular community members, whatever your position is, if you are an Oaklander, it is your responsibility. Like, I feel like we can no longer rely on our city government to actually give a damn about the human being and what our experience is. Yes, businesses are being affected by the blight that we see on the streets, right? But also the business is illegally dumping because the cost for dropping off at Waste Management to dump stuff is so extremely high that the contractor or the regular person that's trying to make a couple of bucks does a job and can't meet that, so they just dump it on the street. Or they're just lazy and they don't want to spend that money and they have it, so they just go by and dump it in an encampment. There is no accountability. The city of Oakland has a whole department to hold accountable people that are illegally dumping. And if you would allow your elected officials to tell you, like Ken Houston or whoever it is that's online claiming that the city of Oakland is holding people accountable, no, they're not. No, they're not. People aren't getting fined out the wazoo. They're not. We're all focused on the wrong thing, and I felt like it was absolutely necessary to point this out. Right? Just how much we're being failed. Listen, if anybody wants to see this, right? If anybody wants to see this schedule, like I said, you can go on the City of Oakland's website, and you can find it. All you have to do is type in Oakland cleanup schedule, and it'll take you to the City of Oakland's page for the homeless encampment cleanup schedule. We went over that today. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to view the policy, right? We're going to view the policy, and we're going to actually go over the policy and what it was essentially made to be and what it's actually turning out to be. Some of you won't be surprised just how much they have butchered this policy in the implementation of it. So we'll be on that tomorrow. Any questions, any comments, right? Drop them down low. You can drop your comments. More than happy to answer any questions people have. Listen, don't feel like your opinion doesn't matter here. I understand this is social media. Some of you all will have opinions that aren't too becoming, right? Some of you will tell me to eat a fat one. That's okay. I want people to know that this is a safe space to share how it is and how you feel. And at the end of the day, your opinion doesn't affect the fact that we have a job to do, and we will continue to do that. Main part of our job is helping the people that aren't getting any help, right? That are supposed to be benefiting from all of the money and resources the city of Oakland is getting that are not. So anyways, we'll check in with y'all later and we'll go over some more info.